So maybe you've been working really hard on getting people to your sales funnel, and you've seen a lot of people have actually landed on the page, but they're not buying. Something is making them fall out of the funnel or leak out of the funnel. We like to say they found an exit ramp. I am Kathy Olson of Funnel Gorgeous, and today we're going to dive into why people are exiting out of your funnel before they purchase and what you can do to fix it. So it's kind of like what they say, first impressions are everything. The number one thing that I think that people do to scare people out of their funnel as soon as they land on it is that there's too much text and it feels too long. So this might be counterintuitive if you've ever heard me say there's no such thing as a too long sales page. That's kind of true. It's half true. Pages can be too overwhelming. It's not about the actual character count or how many words are on a page that makes it too long. A too long sales page is when you have too much text that you just kind of dumped in there. As long as the text is engaging, as long as the copy is engaging, people will stay inside of the funnel. So what it means is that either you have too much text without enough copy designing, or there's too much text that is just not landing. You're not communicating in a clear way the offer, the value, who it's for. The second mistake that you might be making is having your sales page as just an extension of your website. So maybe having it as a separate page on your website, but it's still on your website. This is a killer for sales funnels. So basically what I'm going to say is it's still on your website. If you have a header at the top where they can go other places, then it's not a dedicated page. You're actually taking traffic from the sales page and you're giving them exit ramps. You're giving them places to go other than the sales pages. And when you do that, you're naturally going to get more bouncing because people might just have feelings about what you're talking about on your sales page. And if there's some other place for them to go and not feel those feelings, they might take the exit ramp. And the third thing is kind of related to the second thing, but it's when you have social media on there. If you have your social media handles, if you have your social media, like those little widgets and stuff that go on the site, that is another place where you can just totally lose people, especially with social media. You never want people to leave your page to go to social media. It always should be the one-way traffic the other way. So from social to your site or your sales page, never back. Because we know that once they get into the whole social world, it is built for people not to leave and they will go down a social media rabbit hole. So that is one of the quickest ways to get people off of your sales funnel. The fourth thing is when you have your CTA, which stands for call to action, a little too early and you come on a little too strong. And so I know a lot of people think, hey, I've already sold them, I should just give them a button right up top to buy. And that's kind of true and it's kind of not true. So yes, a lot of times you will have been working on maybe on social media or maybe in the inbox, you've been emailing people and you've kind of moved them over into your funnel and they just want to buy. They don't need to read the whole thing. That's totally okay, but you can't come on too strong. So what we suggest to do here is to actually have a button that tells them that they can kind of explore through, and it actually, the button when they clicked will jump to the offer stack towards the bottom. So it'll actually scroll the page for them in order to get to the offer stack. There's several reasons we do this. The biggest thing is when you smack somebody with that button to buy right away, that's when the nerves kind of start to come in. They're not sure. This is when they actually have to go grab their credit card. It's a very stressful time. And so you just sort of want to ease people into that. So yes, you can have a CTA, but it's almost like a half CTA, and the button language should actually reflect that. It should say click to explore, or I'm ready to go now, or I'm all in, let's do this. Like some kind of a yes that I want to do this, yes I agree that I want to do this, and then it drops them down to the offer stack where they see everything that's included, all the value and everything they're getting for their money. Then the fifth thing is when you actually don't include enough of these CTAs or these little half CTAs or these jump CTAs. So when I'm doing funnel audits for people in our programs and our courses, sometimes I'm looking through them and I see that they don't actually make the offer enough. You want to have these sort of decision CTAs where they are making what I call a micro yes or a micro decision or just like a little mini yes. So for example, if you just got done explaining who your program is for and who would be the right fit, then you want a button underneath that section where you just explain that to say, have a button and say, yes, this is for me, or something like that. Something like where they're agreeing to the section before it. You said this was for me. Yes, I agree that this is for me. You said that here's all the things that are included, and yes, I agree, that's exactly what I'm ready for. And so there's just these kind of micro yeses, and you want them to have them at the end of every section where you finish making a point. So whatever your point is, if you're going through a sales page and you're talking about who it's for, why it's different, you know, all of these sections that we build, the announcement, the introduction, the what's included, the bonuses, like the testimonials, every little section that you have there, the end of it should have a CTA, a little mini yes, a little mini opt-in that they, yes, I'm here with you, I got you, because you want to catch them at any time they're making the decision. So there could be the one thing they needed to hear, they hear it, and then the button's right there. They don't have to go scrolling around looking for it. And again, this button doesn't have to take them directly to the checkout. It can take them to the offer stack, which is the offer stack shows everything that's included and why it's such a great deal. And then the very last mistake that you might be making that will cause people to run for the hills is that you don't soften it after a hard sell. And what I mean by soften is really just supporting the sale. So when you finally do get to the point where you're asking for the sale, you tell them the price, you show them everything that's included. What I want you to do here is to really picture yourself in their shoes. They have their credit card in their hand, they're ready to check out, they're reading over and over and over what's included, what's included, what's included. Gosh, I don't know, is this for me? You just need a little bit of a softener right there around that, right, even really right by the button. And what I mean by a softener is something that just kind of softens the ask, but also puts them at ease and kind of understands what they're going through. So a lot of times this will look like a testimonial or some kind of explanation or proof or social proof to just show them that you are not a scammer, that you are the real deal, that you really can help them, and that you've helped others who have been in their exact place. Just a little bit of this goes such a long way to understanding how people are feeling in this moment, really respecting that they're having doubts in this moment as well, and then not kind of pressuring them into it, but just saying, hey, look, I know what it feels like when you're making a big decision. No, it's not an easy decision, but look, this really does work and I can really help you. So I hope those tips were super duper helpful in helping you kind of shore up any little leaks or holes that you've got going on in your funnels. Of course, we cover sales funnels all day, every day in our Facebook group, The Marketer's Heart, and of course on all of our social media platforms. We're here every single week on YouTube. If you thought this was super helpful and you'd love to hear more tips just like this one, make sure you leave a comment below and share it out to your friends. We will see you on the next one.